Why your house needs a grinder pump. Now, do you know if your house needs one or not? Do you even know if your house has one or not? Some people may buy a house and not even know, but if you know these few things, it'll help you out. And then I'm gonna tell you about one of my favorites, the Zoeller M-803 This is a grinder pump you're not gonna have problems with. Now this video is sponsored by Ferguson. Now we teamed up with Ferguson because of everything that they do for plumbers and the plumbing community. So thanks to Ferguson for introducing the people at Zoeller to me. Let them get this grinder pump out here so we can tell you more about it and why you may need one or already have one at your house. Now, first of all, let me tell you about this particular pump. This is the Zoeller M-803 Now, this is a grinder pump. It's not just a pump. It's not just a sump pump. This is actually a grinder pump, and it's neat because it has stainless steel cutting blades and plate right down here on the very bottom. And we'll show it to you here in just a second. But what I like about these is what they do. They make it possible where if your house is lower than the sewer line, you can actually still have plumbing there, and it will grind it and pump it up to an outlet point where it'll go and gravity feed either to the city main or to your septic system, whichever you're on. Now, different people are different, and I get that. And grinder pumps are often found either in the basement or in your collection tank. So you may have a lift station, a tank, something like that, where gravity feeds to it, and then you've got a grinder pump, and it actually grinds it up, pumps up, and pumps out. Now, the other cool things about this, of course, it's made in the USA. And these are oil-filled for optimum heat dissipation. Now, I know you wouldn't think that a pump could cause that much heat, but actually, we had a circulation pump at my sister's house in Austin. I went out to the pump house because we were having water pressure problems inside. Looked at the pump, the pipe, the plastic pipe was bowing. It had been running so long and got hot. Now, what I like about this, chances are, you're not gonna have that problem. So the other two big deals, this is made in the USA and they are 100% factory tested. So let me get back to what a sewer ejector pump is and why you may need one. Like I said, if your house is below the level of either the city sewer or your septic system, you're gonna have to find a way to pump your sewage up and get to that. Now, like I said, this is a grinder pump. It actually has a plate and a blade on the bottom of this. When this pump kicks on, it actually spins around and keeps things from getting in there and clogging it up. Now, that is fantastic. And the cool thing is, it's got an 1.25 inch outlet over here and it increases immediately. Now, this particular pump will pump 35 GPMs at a 35-foot head. Now, think about it. That means your house can be 35 feet below the sewer line or below the gravity feed line to get into the sewer, and you're not gonna have any problems. Now, I don't think most people live or have their sewer line that low compared to the city sewer, but anything's possible. But at 35 GPMs at 35 feet ahead, this is only a 0.5 horsepower pump, and this thing will definitely pump it out. So where do you normally find these? Like I said, either in the basement or in a lift station or a tank out in the yard. So if they're out in the yard, think about it. Your sewage runs under your house, goes out to a tank, and this pump literally pumps it up and over to get into the city sewer. Now, we don't use a lot of these here in the North Texas area. Most of the city sewer lines are ran low enough that when you plumb the house, it literally goes out and gravity feeds. But this makes it where people can actually move further out into the country and do different things, and you don't have to necessarily worry about the elevation that your house is on. And don't get me wrong, I don't know that I'd want to be in the bottom of a valley or anything, but if you can pump your sewage up and get it to a discharge point, you're gonna be okay. There's certain things you don't ever want to let get down to your sewer ejector pump. You know, baby wipes, cleaning wipes. Think about those. If y'all seen my other videos, you know there's a lot of plastic fibers in those to help hold those together. You don't ever want those in your septic system or your sewer ejector pump. Plastic in general. Plastic fibers bind those together, but think about it. Plastic will get around the motor, the impeller, and cause problems. Even with the stainless steel blade, you don't want that plastic to get sucked up in there where it keeps it from drawing anything through. So plastic, string, threads, anything that can get around there. Think about it. That's a problem you don't want to have, and you can eliminate that problem just by not putting those things into your sewer. Feminine products, diapers, grease, anything like that that could cause a problem. Paint, paper towels, fabric. I mean, wow, you know, it almost sounds like things you normally wouldn't put down a sewer. Think about it. I'm on a city sewer, and I don't know if there's anything on this I would knowingly flush down the toilet. Why? It's gonna cause me to have problems anyway. If you have a sewer ejector pump, you wanna be a little bit more careful about what you're putting down in the sewer, because literally it's gotta fill up your tank, come down under this unit, and actually get sucked up in it so it can get pumped out. Now, one thing that I like about this is the float system. Now, it comes with a 15-foot cord. Why is that a big deal? Well, you definitely don't want to plug it in underwater. So it comes with a 15-foot cord so you get your power up and outside of the pit. Then it plugs in up there. Now, there's really 3 parts to this. You've got the pump, you've got the pit, but you've also got an alarm panel. Why would you want an alarm panel? Because if your pump's not running, you'll either want an audible or a visible alarms. A lot of these alarm panels just have like a red blinking light. So that'll get your attention and let you know there's a problem. You want to take care of this pretty soon, because what's going to happen is you're going to get gurgling, or your entire plumbing system's going to back up. And if that happens, that's going to cause problems inside your house. That's why the alarm panel, whether it's audible or visible, is a great thing to have. It gets your attention, it lets you know you need to get out and look at it. So as you see, you've got a stainless steel handle on this, and this can actually be lifted up, so you would probably want a union connection up higher, so you can actually pull this up out of the pit or the tank to work on it. Whether it's in a basement, in a sump pit there, or whatever it is, you want to be able to get it up and out to where you can work on it. So what I like about this is the float system. And what I want you to look at is when the float system comes up, it triggers the pump right there. Now, think about it. As your water level reaches a certain level, now it's going to start pumping and getting it out. But as it comes down, you see it doesn't shut off. It keeps going until this gets all the way down and actually triggers the switch back off. This is really a neat design, and I gotta tell you, I believe I've installed 2 of these in the North Dallas area since I started plumbing about 40 years ago. But I gotta tell you, these are heavy duty, they're solid, and if you live in an area where you need a sewer ejection pump, this is the kind of pump that I recommend. So let me show you the very bottom of it real quick, and then we'll move on. Remember the stainless steel cutter and plate I was talking about? You've got this probably about 1/4 of an inch stainless steel plate right here on the bottom, and you got a cutter blade. And as you can see, this cutter blade moves around. So every time that float goes up and this pump kicks on, you've got this blade down here keeping these holes clean. That way, you don't have any problem. So if you have one of these, think about it. If your audible or your visible alarm are not going off, if the plumbing starts gurgling, or if anything starts backing up, you know then you've got a problem, and you probably need to get out and look at your sewer ejector pump. If you're a plumber or a homeowner and you have a sewer ejector pump, tell me, what kind of problems do you have with it? Because I gotta tell you, like I said, I've installed a couple of these, never any callbacks, never any problems at all. And that's been years ago. So these things are definitely built to last. So if you're a homeowner or a plumber and you've got one of these installed, leave me a comment down below and let me know, is your setup where it's as easy to change out as this? And what kind of problems have you ever seen homeowners have? Is there something that a product like this could have made their life easier? Once again, I want to say thanks to the people at Ferguson for connecting us with the Zoeller pumps. This is an amazing tool, and it's something that if you're in the right area, this is something that can make all the difference in the world to you. But again, thanks to the people at Ferguson. Go to ferguson.com, and if you hadn't signed up yet for the Facebook group, find Ferguson on Facebook, join the group. That way you can get caught up on the conversation. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.